Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. A lot of people I've been talking to lately have been feeling sluggish, blah. Not necessarily depressed, but just low energy, both emotionally, spiritually, physically, just low energy in all areas. Is that you also? Are you going through that? I think it's natural. I think it can come from a couple different, avenues. We have to look at a multifaceted approach to why that we've taken a downturn or that we have become tired. It could be just simple biology. You might not be getting enough sleep. You might be getting too much sleep. There's a healthy balance. So, if you're sleeping 8 hours or more, you might be getting too much sleep. You may need to put more on your plate. The old saying, a body in motion stays in motion. I'll get to a little bit more of that a little bit later. You might need to get a new bed. I had to do that for myself. I didn't realize I hadn't gotten a bed in 15 years, so it was time to buy a new bed. I found a discount mattress place that hooked me up with one of the nicest beds you can buy for very cheap, and I was pretty happy. You may need to do simple biological things for yourself, such as diet. You might be consuming too much sugar. Sugar has a rise and a fall, has a crash. You may be just noticing the crash real heavy. You may be consuming too much caffeine. Caffeine has an anxiety-inducing effect. You could be having a perfectly normal day, but if you consume too much caffeine, you get jittery, you get jumpy, you get aggravated easily. Your decision-making process you get frustrated quickly. Your heart rate obviously is more rapid, and you can become tired out easier. You may be overworked. You may need to take a weekend off. It's healthy to have a day or two off. I did 7 days a week for many years, and I've had many businesses going at once. And it can be awfully enticing, but not in a way that you may think, but you feel like it's your duty. You just have to work. And I convince myself, well, I can handle this. I'm just going to keep doing it. This is the time of my life when I need to put in this work. I need to stack up this money. You can convince yourself to run yourself into the ground. So you may need to take a break. And these are all just physical things, but it may be mental. You may be exhausted lately because you're going into a depression. The seasonal holidays are normal for people to go into a depression. People get lonely. People look back on their year and feel like, well, I didn't really accomplish what I wanted to. You may have had something bad happen to you this year and you're having a hard time getting past it. You may have some unfinished business in a particular area emotionally that's holding you back from that forward growth. If you're feeling down, sluggish, lack of energy, it very well could be a depression, and sometimes we hide that from ourselves. You may have to be humble and dive into your psyche, into your mentality, and just do a wellness check. It's good to do this periodically. Check in on yourself, see if everything's okay, and be honest with yourself with those responses, with those answers. Most likely, if you're depressed on something, it's because of an unresolved issue of the past, and it just has to be gone into. You got to tear that Band-Aid off, go back into that wound and stitch it up if you have to, reapply some Neosporin if you have to, and take care of yourself. You don't want to let depression go on too long. You want to get proactive. When we notice this about ourselves, we need to, instead of just giving into it, we need to become proactive. And it's hard because we want to just sit there and wallow in our misery. be coddled by others and validated by others. You have to meet that struggle. You may be sluggish and tired and just feeling exhausted lately, for a lot of reasons. And I think the key is, when you're feeling this way, to really push yourself hard. This is when your daily discipline counts. This is why you practice daily discipline. It's easy to do things. It's easy to be productive, to work on ourselves, to help others. It's easy to do all that stuff when we're feeling good, when we're feeling powerful, when we're feeling strong, when we're feeling validated and loved, when everything is going well for us. We can do it. And then when one or two things goes bad, it's all out the window. We instantly turn weak. When you're feeling weak, when you're feeling sluggish, when you're feeling like taking not just a day off, but a couple days off, when you just feel beaten down and you don't have the fight in you anymore, that's when it's time to step it up, to go harder. Sink or swim, do or die. Get yourself up off that couch and go do 1,000 push-ups right on your living room floor. Get yourself moving. Get out. Get your errands done. I don't care how bad the weather is. I don't care what your excuse is. If you force yourself to do it, I don't care if you're crying as you leave the door and you just don't want to do it. I can't. Do it. Just do it. You got to get moving. A body in motion stays in motion. It's simple physics. Many times, I don't feel like being productive for whatever reasons. There's all kinds of reasons, as we discussed. That's the time that it counts the most. And very often when I get out there and get on top of what I'm supposed to be doing, and many times I can feel overwhelmed when it's multiple things. All I have to do is get out of this house and get on my way on that journey, whatever it takes, and I start energizing. You'll find that energy the more movement that you have. It's like when you're tired and you wake up in the morning. You wake up early, because when you're disciplined, you have to wake up early. Everybody who watches my channel on a regular basis should have a disciplined lifestyle and should be getting up early. And I don't care what time you go to work, get up a couple hours earlier. If you have to go to bed early, go to bed early. But you need those morning hours. And there's many times when I'll wake up early. I don't want to. I'll sit there in bed and think about how comfortable I am. Think about how I don't want to do shit today. Hard day yesterday. I'm still beaten down. I thought I'd be rejuvenated, but I'm not. I still just feel mopey and miserable and weak. I'll push myself off that bed even if I have to lay on the goddamn floor. I don't care if I can barely open my eyes. I'll wander out of my bedroom like a zombie. Just the more that you get your blood flowing, the more that you get moving, the more alive you become. So you just need to remember this simple physics. Body in motion stays in motion. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling weak. There's so many people I've talked to that are feeling this way right now. I say, how you doing, man? And they tell me, I'm just feeling tired and just don't have it in me anymore. It just feels so, thing feels so hard. And we talked about a few areas this might be, mental or physical. Could be a combination. Get on top of it. It's all just food for thought. Stay strong, guys. Thanks for watching.